watching your career and your evolution as an artist and a creative, I'm not really surprised that you're playing this type of character. But I definitely want to know what your initial reactions were when you were presented with this role.
Well, initially, when I had an opportunity to see the role, I was a little apprehensive, only because I was playing someone who's getting out of prison. And for me, being a 6'2" black man that's not a comedian, in most cases they try to typecast us into dope dealers and killers. I had a young Asian student in Buffalo ask me, how did it feel that I get paid to widen black fear through white people's movies? And I never thought about it like that. He was like, bro, they pay you to make the world fear black people through the roles that you get to play. He said, because you're so intellectual. You're a semester and a thesis away from your master's degree. When I was in grad school, I had a 3.987. So why can't I play a lawyer? Why can't I play a doctor? Why can't I look awesome. Why I can't play a superhero? You know what I'm saying? So I after he said that, I never noticed that, and I realized that I have to be more responsible with our image. All of us do.
Yes.
Because as much as black people try to act like the things that you do or the way that you wear your hair or what type of clothes that you wear is not a statement, it actually is. Everything that you do is a cultural statement.
Yeah, definitely.
So initially, I was apprehensive until I had an opportunity to read into the story more, and then I saw that this was a story of redemption. You know how a lot of stories, they just talk about black folks' problems, and there's no closure, there's no redemption, there's no explanation. Why? Because Africans didn't get off those boats acting like this. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I took it as an opportunity for me to be able to speak for a group of people who usually don't have the voice to speak. They don't get to talk to all hip hop. They don't get a chance to, go on TV. So with this role, just like I'm doing now, I get an opportunity to speak for us.
Absolutely. And not only just speak, but to come face to face with so many different concepts. And that's why I said I'm not surprised that you're playing this role because, within just this movie, you're dealing with complexities of race, class, the prison industrial system, so many different dynamics. So what do you say?
Pardon me for interrupting. It's something that's so powerful. There was just a story where a white cop was found to have planted, I think it was in 30 cases, had planted dope on innocent people. And you and I both know, in most cases, black people are guilty until proven innocent. So, bless you, they usually take our stories and, everybody says they're innocent. So now we're seeing in their news that, we're being set up. So the fact that my character actually was innocent, not saying that he didn't do any dirt, but they put him in jail for murder, and he was actually innocent. And so that gives me an opportunity to even be able to talk about that. That's an example exactly of what you just said, or our conversation in general. Like usually when I do interviews, people always ask me, what do I want people to get out of this movie? And I tell them that's not my place. I don't know how God is working with them. There is one character in the character where he has to sell his mom drugs so she won't go out and do some of the things that people do for drugs. So he opts to do that. So my mother wasn't on drugs, so maybe I'm not attracted to that character. Robin Givens is a mother who had to raise her son alone because my character went to jail. My father was in the home, so maybe I may not gravitate to that character. It just really depends how God is working with you in your life and your personal experiences. So I would just ask, because I am so attractive, that people should go and look at me, and then if they're able to get something out of it, that's awesome.
I love that you bring up that character to personal comparison. When we look at who David Banner is, the man, versus Aaron Davis, the character, in your real life, how many encounters have you experienced that says, I'm going to make a different choice than Aaron would have made, or as Aaron, I would have made a different choice than David would have made?
That's an infinite amount of choices, and the reason why I say that is because we're both black men. So regardless of whether I was put in prison or not, I've been accused of things that I didn't do. I've been judged just by my skin. I would just say that as a whole, I don't think that the actual choices that we make as individuals, that's not something that I think I should judge. I think I should judge more of the similarities, and we figure out how, as Aaron and how, as David Banner, can we thwart, those similarities, especially as it affects us as black men and women, or how it affects our children. So, just the fact that this prison industrial system was set up for profit and to benefit off of us, the way that the music industry is set up, so that we perpetuate these stereotypes and they pay our children. It's sort of hard to ask our children to stop paying. It's sort of hard to ask our children to stop acting like niggas when niggas and bitches, when they pay us to act like niggas and bitches. We as a race need to applaud and support those of us that act like kings and queens and pay them. The reason why our kids want to be niggas and bitches and housewives and all the rest of this shit is because they get paid well, and we give all of our attention. We tell them to do one thing, but we give all our attention to the negative thing.
Right.
I think one of the problems that we won't admit is that white supremacy pays and black positivity just talks shit. Black positivity don't pay. Black positivity, they don't applaud black positivity. And I'm not just talking about the niggas and bitches. I'm talking about the sellout. They'll look at a black man just because he in a suit and a tie and say that he's a great role model, but he doesn't stand for black people. He doesn't help educate or employ black people. And this is no shot at our former president, but I can't write down on a sheet of paper what our black president did for us besides give us hope. And you can't eat off hope. So I would rather my kid be more like Tupac than Obama, personally. Exit the death part.
Right. I mean, no, you bring up such valid points when it comes to, how our community is affected by either two of those things. So I completely understand that. Even when it comes down to the new movie that came out, Black Panther, there was a lot of support, which I was surprised for, but I was happy about it. Do you think that in 2018 that black narratives and black films are going to continue to garner this support, or do you think that at some point it's just going to fade away?
Well, it better garner support because I'm about to put all my money in black films. So I hope the hell so. I think this is the time for black love. Like I would hate to give somebody my idea and they take it, but me and cousin Bobby and one of my really, really good friends, a powerful businessman from Atlanta, Georgia. His name is his name actually Caleb Muhammad. But Wendell Stimley, who is a great construction worker, has also said like we have to get to the point where we got to applaud black love. Like I was looking at like it's time for what was the movie with shot in Chicago, with the dude from Menace to Society who loves Jones. We need I haven't talked to her about it, but like I want to do a film with me and Jill Scott. I want a love story with two regular, just everyday loving black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to do black superhero movies. And as much as I love Black Panther, and I'm grateful for Black Panther, and honestly, it was one of the most beautiful stories I've ever seen. I didn't see any black retainable income. Like, some black people got paid off of it, but I didn't see any residual income coming to the black community. It went to Marvel and Disney, which without Marvel and Disney, maybe something that epic at this time maybe couldn't have came into fruition. Who knows? But unless Black Panther money or some of those millions and millions and millions of dollars can come straight to Jackson, Mississippi, or somewhere that at least looks like Wakanda, that actually exists in real life, then basically we did what we do every day. We take black power and black money and shovel it off to white folks.
Well, how do we make that happen? How do we funnel that money back into the community?
Well, what happens, love, is most black filmmakers tell the same story that white people tell about us. So even those who have the power to do these types of things, they make the same damn movies. So it's about the independent black filmmakers stepping out, similar to what I did on my new album, The God Box. You know, I knew for the most part, you know, positive rap, you know, isn't one of the most popular things in the black community. But I know that's what our people need. Bless you. I know that's what our people need. So I put over $100,000 of my money. Not no white company, not nobody, because I see all these people that got black people that got billions and billions of dollars, but they still want the white folks to put their stuff out. So then we don't control it. It got black faces on it, but it's white folks' product. So for me, I put it out there. It wasn't about whether I was going to make $1 million. I know one day the God Box will make $1 million, and they can go to davidbanner.com and actually get everything that they need from that. But the thing is that I had to put it out there. Because if you even look at our greatest artists, you look at Bob Marley, you look at Jimi Hendrix, you look at Outkast, you look at all of these different groups. Most of the groups that really, really, really pushed the thread of black power and black royalty and futuristic love and finances, we didn't really understand the depth of those groups until way after their albums came out. You know, even though Outkast did great, even though you know, they did very well financially, I don't think we'll ever really know in our time how powerful they were. You know, just like Jimi Hendrix, for the most part, if you really look at Jimi Hendrix, black folks did support him like that.
Right.
You know, you look at Outkast, you know, towards, you know, the end of their reign, they you go to their concerts, it was all white people. Like, we have to support it.
Our community has not supported hip hop financially in the way that we can and we should, especially now when everybody's just downloading or, you know, stealing music basically. So, you know,
I ask artists. It's amazing that you said that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I just don't want to move past your thoughts, you know, without commenting on it. You know, one example of that is artists would always ask, like, why won't I spend a lot of money on artists? And I was like, well, our people have to invest. You want me to spend $1 million, but you won't spend $9.99. You know, one of the things that I told, and T.I. was one of the only other people to talk about this. Like, I spent over $100,000 on my album. There wasn't another entity that invested in my project. But streaming companies get their money before I do. You know, distribution companies get their money before I do. And I was the major contributor. I wasn't like most of these other rappers. I put my own money in. So if I put my own money in, then don't I supposed to get it back?
Right.
You know, streaming companies, only thing a streaming company is one person playing your music over and over again and people going to their site to listen to your music instead of coming to your website. That don't make no fucking sense. But if you fight against the system and the people not behind you, then they just stop playing your fucking music and you gone.
Exactly.
Like, we got to start making better decisions. And I'm going to say this. It's the first time I've ever said this. And watch, 5 years later, somebody going to come back and say David Banner said it, but nobody's going to pay attention to it.
Right.
I believe that if you don't invest in the technology, if you can't repair the technology, if you can't produce the technology, then you shouldn't be using it. Black folks are running to cryptocurrency. Black folks is running to iPhones, putting all their information on Apple Pay, but you have no control over it. You can't even fix your phone. You can't even take your car. If your car wasn't made later than the age of about 1998, you can't even go down the street and let Jim, the Shade Tree mechanic, fix your car. You have to be an engineer to fix a car now, you know, and for me, we are running and giving all of our information, giving our facial recognition, our fingerprints, you know, our recognition as it pertains to our retinas and our eyeballs. We're giving all of this information to people that we don't know, who haven't historically cared nothing about us. And I'm not saying that technology isn't great, that we shouldn't invest in technology. I'm not saying that. But the fact that we don't even allow our children to write in cursive, our children barely know how to write now. I've seen this story where this college professor told his students they can't bring any computers or phones in his class anymore, and they found out that most of the kids couldn't even write. You know, so for me, we are investing in technology, and imagine this. Imagine if they pull their technology away from us. We'll almost be back in the cave days. We don't know how to pad. We don't know how to use maps. We don't know how to navigate ourselves without GPS. We can't make full sentences in most cases. We are almost mental slaves right now. So black people are going to have to get back to creating. We're going to have. Let me tell you something even sad as Southerners. As much as Monsanto and all of these companies are playing and placing all of these GMOs in our food, we as Southerners, we don't even plant food. We don't even have farms. That ain't cool no more. So we letting the same people that put smallpox and blankets and injected our people with all kind of diseases and placing all this stuff in the food. We let them control the food that we feed our children. So we have to remember to go back and watch the movie Never Heard, because I talk politics every day. And if people want to see Never Heard, they got to make sure that they go to Fathom Events. That's FATHOMEVENTS, fathomevents.com, and they have to go to the website and type in Never Heard, and it will show exactly where the movie is being shown. And I'm going to tell you the reason why it's important. They're only showing this movie one day, November 1st, so everybody has to go. Yeah. And the thing is I don't know if you noticed this, but we allow white America to pick our heroes. And most of the people that they pick are people that they can control. If people go out and show that David Banner is a viable star, one thing that white people don't care about is they don't care who the star is as long as they can put ass in the seat. But if we make stars, and not just me, T.I., anybody else, Killer Mike that's pushing the narrative, Brother RZA from the Nation of Islam, like any of these people who, when they get in power position, can then turn around and leverage that power for our people, then we'll start seeing more. But what happens is we give all of our money and our support to black people who don't then come and reinvest in the community, and they take our power and our leverage away. And then when something happens to our community, they're going to speak on behalf of white people, because white people are the people that's paying their family.
Do you have anybody that's, backing you on this and just making sure that?
Oh, no, I don't depend on other people. I call it the Jesus complex. Like I don't have any children. I want children, but I don't have any children. I put everything in this. I put my life on the line. I don't expect everybody to do what I do. I don't stand behind another man. I got people, millions of people all around the world that support me. I don't know how long that's going to last. So I don't like to call other people's names and say what other people say what other people are going to do, because I don't depend on that in my life. My father taught me, you know, I'm the man, and most people, you know, they're waiting for some other man to come out of the sky and save them. I don't believe in that. I believe that God put this on me, and I believe it's my responsibility. And to be honest with you, that's the only thing that I worry about. That's the only thing that I talk about.
Let's talk about your co-stars in this film. You have Robin Givens, Karrueche. What was the relationship building moments like when you guys were, you know, building that chemistry to make this movie as surreal as possible for people?
Okay, this is what I'll say really quick. Kandi Burruss is a personal friend of mine already. Like, we had started a company back almost about 15 years ago, because she's a great writer. I'm a great producer. Life just ended up speeding up, and we didn't finish the company out, but she was already a personal friend, and we both stayed in the same city. Romeo Miller, I am so proud of the man that he has become. Josh Weber, the director and one of the producers, he told me himself, David Banner, this is your community, and I need you, you know, to take the wheel and push this in the direction that you think that your people would like to see and what they need. And I can honestly say that most directors and most producers won't do that. And I have the utmost respect for him. Master P came out and gave his wisdom and his support. Karrueche Tran is such a consummate professional. You know, they just look at her as a beautiful face. This girl works out in between takes and really just trying to get, you know, her craft up. Robin Givens, black don't crack at all. That's one thing. That woman is so beautiful. I'm saying, damn, does she age? We already know what she does as an actress, but I mean, I was like, wow. You know, sometimes I forget a line because I'm looking directly into her eyes, like, whoa. You know, I saw her shaking and trembling a little bit. But what I'll say in closing, because we have to get to the next interview, is that this movie has so many personal things that I think that people can, I think every aspect of our community, I think there's somebody that can pull something from this film. And I think it's something that we should support. And we haven't even talked about the spiritual ramifications of this movie, because people don't really know this, but this movie is actually a faith-based film. And so, you know, we got some of that in there for you. And I just like to say in closing that I appreciate you, and could you please tell people to make sure to go to fathomevents.com to support Never Heard, and go to davidbanner.com to support me.
Most definitely. You guys heard it here first. Get out there and make sure that y'all support November 1st, Never Heard. We got to keep this support going in our community. Can't thank you enough for coming and stopping by and talking to us on allhiphop.com. Thank you, David Banner.
All good. That's family.